There's a lovely little waltz by composer Francis Poulenc, and there will be some Poulenc music at the wonderful Amici Chamber Ensemble's 25th anniversary concert coming up March 1st at Kerner Hall with many, many special guests, among them Isabel Bayrakdarian. Isabel's with us here and now. Welcome.
Thank you.
And David Hetherington from
Hello,
Amici is here.
Thanks very much.
I'm going to start with David. Is that okay?
Sure.
Because 25 years ago, you got together with a couple of other folks and said, well, why don't we make some music among friends? And that's where Amici came from.
Exactly. That's how it happened. Joaquin and I were both playing in the Toronto Symphony, and still are. And Joaquin had always thought of having a chamber music ensemble, and we thought, well, we better get a pianist. And we had worked with Pat at the university.
Patricia Parr.
Patricia Parr, that's right. And so we had played a couple of times together. We thought, this is great. So we'll start our own series, and then we can decide what music we do. And then invite all of our friends from the past and from the present and from the future to come and play with us.
Now, the piano player now is a fellow you know, Isabel, Soroush Kradjian. Tell us how he got involved.
Many years ago, actually, it happened to coincide on the first time I was singing with Amici, and he was the pianist for that concert.
That's right.
That season, I believe, you had a different pianist for each concert.
That was because Patricia wasn't well, and we had to find someone, and suddenly discovered that Soroush was married to Isabel. So.
Yes, so Amici has become La Familia, no?
Yeah. So you didn't meet. You didn't meet there. You.
No, we were already married.
We're already a couple. Well, it's a wonderful concert that's coming up. You've had a wonderful history, and Isabel, your career just keeps going up and up and up. Let's talk about the program at Kerner Hall on March the 1st. And in particular, let's talk about who else is going to be there. David, you've brought most of the Toronto Symphony, haven't you?
That's right. Well, we brought the best players in town, and it just so happens that many of those players are in the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. We, of course, wanted to have Isabel on the program, so the second half of the program, which I'm sure she'll talk about, features her. The first half is the Beethoven Septet. And it was our thought we'd try and get several players who had been with us right at the beginning. For example, we have Barry Schiffman playing viola with us, and Barry happened to be on our very first concert in 1988. And he was just getting started, was still basically a student. And so he's now the Associate Dean of the Royal Conservatory, so I thought it would be fantastic.
After a marvelous performing career.
Yeah. So we have all the other people on the program have worked with Amici through the years. So this was.
Well, we're talking about Jonathan Crowe and Marie Berard and Jeffrey Beecher and Sarah Jeffrey and Michael Sweeney and Neil Deland and Andrew McCandless and percussionist Beverly Johnston. Right. Everybody's going to have a part. Now, you mentioned the Beethoven piece. There's also a piece by Ernest Chausson. Tell us about that.
That's right. This is a piece for piano, string quartet, and soprano. And this is something that Isabel has been, well, she does it a lot, do you not?
I do. It's I don't think there exists any other chamber piece for voice, string quartet, and piano that's as perfect and as genius as this piece. It is I've done it a couple of times, and it truly takes your breath away.
This is the Chanson Perpétuelle?
Chanson Perpétuelle, yes.
And why do they call it that? Like, it must end at some time.
No, because she is, we see her at the beginning remembering her past, reliving her past, and coming back to the present, and realizing that the present actually, the tears are the same tears that she had when her whole love affair started. So it's this constant a recurring theme that she's in a loop that she can't get out of. So it's the Chanson Perpétuelle. She'll sing this for the rest of her life.
Marvelous. And what else are you going to be performing?
Followed after the Chanson Perpétuelle, it's a very quirky, whimsical, comical piece by Francis Poulenc called
Bizarre.
Yes, and bizarre and surreal. We can add so many adjectives by Francis Poulenc, La Bal Masquée. And it is a piece for voice, female, voice, and I would call it a mini orchestra, really, because it has percussion and so many instruments in it. and it's called a profane cantata. So cantata, you think Bach, no, it's a profane.
Yeah.
So automatically you know that it's a piece that's you shouldn't expect the usual from it. It's from an instrumental point of view, David.
Well, it's very quirkish, and the instruments come in, and I think a lot of it is representative of the stories that are being told, some of the poetry and some of the bizarre situations that occur. There's a little passage in the cello, which I think is representing somebody spraining his ankle or something, going up the cobblestone.
That's quirky.
steps. Yeah, something like that.
Kind of like the Oscars last night when that actress tripped going to
That's
get
right,
her
yeah.
award.
So it's nice to know what's going on in the story, so that you can understand what this crazy passage is that you have to play. And all of the instruments take part in that, of course. And
There's
it's a lot of fun.
another piece with a composer with whom I'm not terribly familiar, and I don't think our audience is, Montsalvatge.
Montsalvatge.
Montsalvatge,
Isabel, yeah.
Javier Montsalvatge is a Catalan composer. He died actually in 92.
Yes, not so long ago.
Or 2002. 10 years. I don't know.
The decades are
not
going
too
by
long
fast,
ago.
isn't
Not
it?
too
Yeah,
long
they are.
ago, 2002, I believe. And he's actually most famous for this cycle, Cinco Canciones Negras, or 5 black songs. Now, they are very, very exotic, sexy selection of songs, but also they have very blatant commentary, political commentary on the American occupation of both Haiti and Cuba. So he makes a lot of digs at the American foreign policy, which is valid even today, I would say.
Careful.
Well, it's a very popular,
however,
very popular target
it
in
is
the arts.
usually performed either piano voice version or the full orchestral version. And for this concert, Serouge has arranged it for the forces that we have at hand. So this is going to be performed in a chamber setting for the first time on Friday. Each song is very, very different from the rest. It has a beautiful lullaby that, of course, I right now personally relate to very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
It has, as I said, it's just it's amazing for once to sing a politically charged song as opposed to just a nice love song. I mean, how often do you get a chance to comment on American soldiers whistling after the local Cuban girl?
Mm-hmm. You're still singing lullabies to your little one?
I always do.
Uh-huh.
I always do, and both of them now. It's not just one. My daughter was born 11 weeks ago, and for both of them, it's amazing. I go to my son's room. I do the usual 5, 6. Well, he has a particular order I should sing those
naturally.
in, and I leave him and I go to the other baby's room, and the whole process starts again. Chanson perpétuelle.
The daily concert. Very
That's
lucky
right.
kids indeed to have Isabel Bayrakdarian singing to them. Le Bal Masqué, celebrating 25 years of the Amici Ensemble, March 1st, Friday night, 8 o'clock at Kerner Hall. Here's we go for tickets, www.rcmusic.ca. Have you started rehearsing yet, or?
We have.
I can imagine the energy in the room.
Well, we got all the instrumentalists together a couple of weeks ago. Serouge, of course, has done a lot of the arranging, so he wanted to make sure that it actually worked.
Yeah.
And also both the compositions, the Montsalvatge and the Poulenc, were actually intended to be done with conductor. But we're a chamber music ensemble, so we don't do conductors.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, well, we better make sure that this will work, and it's going to be just fine. It's
What's the word you
way
use?
more fun without a conductor.
What's the word you use? Superfluous or redundant?
Those are your words, not mine.
Okay. All right. David Hetherington, thank you for being with us. Isabel Bayrakdarian, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And we look forward to this performance. Isabel joining the Amici Chamber Ensemble Friday night, Kerner Hall, part of the Royal Conservatory season, of which we are proud to be the radio sponsor. www.rcmusic.ca. And let's hear a little bit of that Beethoven septet.